Hello everyone and welcome to another video that we were hoping we would not have to make because there is pretty much no Nintendo games coming, and then we talk about brand new ones. No, we don't count remasters, remakes, re-releases, Wii U ports. Then we have had a total of 4. Animal Crossing New Horizons, Good Job, Clubhouse games, 51 worldwide games depending on your region, and obviously as of latest Paper Mario Origami King, which we'll be getting into in depth soon. But together with me is Nintendaan, who's been able to play all of those games on the list. And yeah, we are pretty much stuck with absolutely nothing for the rest of the year when it comes with new games. And do you think we will get any reveals that will be able to come out this year?
This year, I completely understand the current situation where everything and where everybody's head is at. But we know for a fact that the Mario anniversary stuff is likely still coming.
So you do believe that Paper Mario Origami King could be the last new Nintendo game we get this year?
There is a very real possibility that Paper Mario Origami King is the last new game of 2020, yes. Furukawa made this very fake statement that that games that haven't been announced are currently still on track. But that's sort of an oxymoron because he has not really mentioned any upcoming 2021 games or 2020 games beyond Origami King in the very near future. So why would they be delayed then in the first place if you haven't really announced them?
That is also why I feel this whole Nintendo Direct mini-series is odd. Normally, if you had something to announce, you would probably have a Direct of your own, but it doesn't seem like they have games to announce. It just feels like the only thing that they're just waiting to bring up is the Super Mario 35th Anniversary Collection. They should probably just announce it right now. With everything happening, with all the leaks and stuff tied to Super Mario 64, obviously, that has been a criminal act because everything has been stolen, personal info leaked, and so on. So we completely condemn that.
But it's that and 3D World Deluxe that we know are in the pipeline. And then there are some things that we know are in flux, but know that have been on the shelf for a while, it seems, which includes Pikmin 3 Deluxe. So that's a possibility to be there. Honestly, I don't expect much beyond that. Maybe a Zelda port of something, because they couldn't leave a year without a Zelda thing every single year. It's hard to say, and even if it's something small like Good Job, if they will make something original further this year, because even if they work with smaller studios, even if they work with the bigger ones, there's a strong possibility that those games don't come out this year anymore.
That is exactly the same feeling I'm getting, is that games that were slated for 2020, the lineup has just been, okay, we know that it's going to be impacted, it's getting delayed. The rest of the year is just going to be remasters, remakes, ports of games that we know will sell, that are from franchises that are among our best-selling, Super Mario, Zelda. We still have new Pokemon Snap, but that is not a Nintendo game. That is developed by Bandai Namco, that's one thing. But that is the closest I think we'll get to a new Nintendo game this fall, and probably holiday season as well.
We don't know if it will exactly come out in 2020. I wouldn't be surprised if it would. But we also need to keep in mind, once again, the global situation.
It just feels like 2021 is going to be this amazing and massive year for Nintendo because they've pushed so many projects back to that year. It could be a Zelda year, it could be a 3D Mario year, it could be Bayonetta 3 and so many other games as well. Normally these games would have been already revealed, announced and talked about by Nintendo. People expect to know the lineups by this time. Like PlayStation and Microsoft have already long ago announced their lineups for the holiday. And in the case of Nintendo, there's absolutely nothing, and that's maybe because there is nothing other than games that can be announced, say, a month or two ahead, and that is a typical window for remakes, remasters, Wii U ports.
I think that Sony and Microsoft are pushing on despite what's currently going on with the world, which is both a blessing and a curse, because I don't think everybody will pick up a console right away, so they will also have a time to build up a lineup over time. But with Nintendo, they already have an install base. They already have people who buy their games. So it would feel weird if they have nothing for the rest of this year.
I just feel like by doing what Nintendo is doing this year, they're just pushing people to buy an Xbox or a PlayStation 5. Obviously, you have games on the Nintendo Switch. Also from this year, Animal Crossing is breaking records. And I just feel like Nintendo feels like, okay, we have earned enough this year. Our projects may be impacted, so we're not going to try to rush them. We'll do well financially no matter what. The Switch is still sold out in so many regions. And we don't want to create more shortages at this stage in time. So we're just going to push everything to next year.
Even then, it's weird that they're not talking about the games that they're publishing themselves, including Bravely Default 2 and No More Heroes 3.
Maybe one of those has been delayed out of this year, or they're coming out very late this year. But in terms of Nintendo IPs, I don't think we're getting much more. And in this regard, would you say that Paper Mario the Origami King is worthy of being the last in-house new Nintendo game of 2020?
I definitely think it's a really fun game. I really enjoyed the story elements of that game a lot. I definitely enjoyed exploring the world. There are some criticisms that I have, but overall I really enjoyed it.
So what are those criticisms? Because we know that this year's experiences have been they've been very solid, but at the same time there have been some detrimental elements to them, like Animal Crossing with the one island limit, and the same now with Origami King, and I think especially its combat is nagging a lot of players.
So my problem with the combat is despite there being a timer, there doesn't feel like there are many stakes involved. And I have to preface this and maybe explain that a bit. When you start a battle, you already have a basic jump and hammer attack. You can buy different items if you want to, but you could technically survive with the basic items if you wanted to. I feel that it makes the battles a bit more unnecessary. Because here's the thing with Color Splash did insanely well, is making you care about your inventory. Like, it was pure inventory management and making sure that you have enough attacks to do the next job. That is what really irks me the wrong way about Origami King's battle system. With the boss battles, it does change up a lot and you do have to keep specific elements in mind. But there are battles in those that really are tricky. Like the fundamentals, the elemental bosses, those are insanely tough.
Like the feeling I have with this game is pretty much this gap between the story elements, which I absolutely love in this game. I think it's a simplistic story, but it really has some truly well-written moments.
Oh yeah.
That's what I think is so good about Origami King. What I don't like about Origami King is pretty much its gameplay, and it's not good when you're in a situation where you just try to avoid battles. There's no point battling because there's no leveling up, there's no experience points. And that is also another discussion that you can get into, that, okay, when it is an RPG, well, then you have the incentive of fighting because you want to get those experience points, you want to level up.
Totally.
But you don't have that incentive in Paper Mario Origami King. And since the battle system is also so annoying with the whole puzzle element to every battle, lining up your opponents, and then it just feels tedious. And I think that is the biggest problem with Origami King, is that the combat system just feels tedious.
I think the moment-to-moment action is actually really good. Like when you go to the different areas, you fight with in IRL with the papercraft enemies, that sort of stuff. Like all of those elements are fantastic, and even the collectibles I have a lot of fun collecting. But like to the overall flow of the game, especially when it comes to battles, I think I slightly prefer Color Splash, ever so slightly. Not so much for the world building, because I think the world building here is really top notch, but purely when it comes to moment gameplay, I think that Color Splash was a little bit tighter.
Exactly, and that is what I feel. It's like 2 steps forward and 1 step back. That's what I feel Origami King is. It does a lot of things right, but at the same time, there are a few things that Color Splash did better, and that is the step back. Because it feels like a step in the right direction, but at the same time, it's not as far in the right direction as most of us would hope for. And I'm not talking about bringing back experience points or leveling up and like a classic 1000-Year Door turn-based system. No, I'm talking about a game system that is engaging, it isn't tedious, and just pretty much meets the quality that you deliver in the story, setting, and character department. While building the original characters, I think it was good that they didn't make Bowser and so on the villain once again, and made you kind of team up with all the victims of what's going on in the game. And I think that was a great way of connecting with a lot of the characters and the partners that you have. Because normally, okay, these would just be opponents. But now you actually feel something for them, and sometimes there are very emotional moments as well. So I would say that Paper Mario: The Origami King is definitely a good game. It's a good, solid Nintendo game. But I think that this game is definitely in the 8-ish range. Low 8. I don't feel like it's any kind of risky or mind-blowing experience that changes Paper Mario in a drastic way. No, it just feels like Color Splash, but better. That's the best way of describing Origami King. It's Color Splash, but better.
Some things are fixed, some things are faulted.
Hopefully we are wrong and we get a new Nintendo game this year, but based on the whole Direct Mini series that is coming.
If we get anything beyond the 35th anniversary stuff, so 3D World Deluxe and the Mario Anniversary Collection, we should take that as an extra. Not as a negative from, oh, we're not getting anything original or major, but purely as an extra to at least keep us entertained for this coming holiday season.
And then strike back harder than ever with a long list of games next year.
Yes. I mean, it's at least having more games despite what they are is a good thing. No matter if they ports or they are original, having more games here is never a bad thing. Never.
I was joined by Nintendaan. Be sure to leave a like if you haven't already, subscribe, press that notification bell and all that good jazz. His channel is also added in the end card, so be sure to click in and show him some love. And anyways, we'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching, and bye bye.